Welcome to my first restorative class that I am teaching on YouTube. I'm so excited to teach this to you. Today we are going to be focusing on our back. I've been feeling some stiffness in my back, so I thought it'd be a great way to relay a passive way for us to kind of open up our back without a lot of vigorous movement. What I love about restorative is that you get all of the benefits of a yoga class, a physical one, an up and down one, from a restorative class by simply letting gravity do your work. It's deeply restoring, hint the word, but also super relaxing and just, it's like the icing on the cake. So cannot wait to get started. We are going to be using 2 blankets, a bolster, and 2 blocks. So if you want to go ahead and pause this video and go grab that, that would be wonderful. Of course, you can too use anything that you have at your house. So if you're looking for blocks, books is a great option. A bolster, a couch cushion is a great option for that. And any blankets that you have around that are kind of sturdier are good for that as well. So just search your house and grab those things. If you're ever wanting to know more about props and how to use them, of course, we have a couple of YouTube videos explaining that. Michelle does a great job. But again, go ahead, pause the video, go grab those props, roll out your mat, and I will see you there in just a second. All right, let's start restorative class. Go ahead and find a comfortable seat on your mat. I find it really nice to put a rolled up blanket underneath my sit bone, and that way I get a little bit of a prop and my hips are able to open up just a little bit more easily and more comfortable. We're going to go ahead and close our eyes, hands facing up so we can receive the light, that positive energy that's out in the world. With our eyes closed, we're just going to come into awareness right here, right now. Try to listen for the sounds in the room. What do you hear? Can you stretch out that hearing to the sides, the sounds outside your house? Perhaps it's the birds chirping or the trucks going by. What sounds do you hear? Coming back into the room that we're in, feeling the weight of our body on the ground, coming into awareness of the right now, forgetting that to-do list, what we're supposed to be doing, what's next on the list when we end practice. Push that away. Let that come back once class ends. Just be right here with your breath on your mat, practicing yoga. Drawing attention to our breath, let's take a few rounds. Trying to get our breath on equal inhales and exhales. Starting with 2 breaths in, pausing at the top, and 2 counts out, pausing at the bottom. 2 counts in, pause, 2 counts out, pause. 3 counts in, pause, 3 counts out, pause, 4 counts in, elongating the breath, with a pause at the top, 4 breath counts out, pause at the bottom. Let's do 3 more rounds like that. with your own counts, on your own time, starting now. Taking a moment to enjoy this peaceful relaxation that we just created just by using our breath. Knowing that we always have our breath to come back to. A respite for those stressful times. And a moment of clarity is always just right there away. With the simple coming back to our breath. All right. All right, we're going to find some gentle movement on our mat. So go ahead, remove the blanket from underneath your sit bone. Coming into tabletop. Knees underneath your hips, feet underneath your shoulders. We're going to come and do a few cat-cows. So as our inhale, belly drops. Eyes gaze at the top of the ceiling. Exhale, draw your belly button to the spine, head falls down, cow. Inhale, belly lifts or drops, gaze comes forward. Exhale, belly button to the spine, chin to your chest. Let's do 3 more of these on our own cadence. Inhale for cat, exhaling for cow, inhaling for cat, exhaling for cow. Find any natural movements that your body needs, getting the wiggles out, any stiffness that you might find. Find rolling in a kind of clockwise manner helps get some of that low back stiffness out. Making sure that whatever we do on the left side, we do on the right. Whatever fluid movements you need to warm up the spine. Now finding pause, we're going to do a few hip circles. So what we want to do is go ahead, shift your weight to the right, coming into a circle to the left, pushing forward above our hands and back down. So creating this big circle with our hips towards the right. Now pausing, now towards the left. We're going to come back around. Getting some flexibility in those hips. All right. Coming to stillness. Let's go ahead and get set up for our first pose. First pose is going to be child's pose. So what we want to do is come onto our knees. Knees will be wide, toes touching. We're going to go ahead and grab our bolster and place it in the center of our legs. It's nice and wide right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these 2 blankets right on top. And then what you're going to want to do is take a deep breath in, shoulders back, elongate the spine, and as you exhale, fold over your bolster. Now, If you find that you're too far up, you can go ahead and remove one blanket at a time. Again, as we're folding over the blanket or over our bolster, I'm going to raise, elongate that spine, deep breath, exhale, fold over. And what we're looking for is that depending on how open your legs are, you want to have an equal natural laying on the bolster. So I went ahead and removed another blanket, and now I can feel my elbows hit the floor and it feels comfortable to me. So what we're going to do next is simply put our right cheek on the bolster or the blanket and relax. Coming back to our breath, letting gravity do our work. We'll lie here for several breaths. Eyes are closed. Heart is open. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible or standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil layers of protection you built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. The goal is to love you. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. Go ahead and shift your cheek. So now that your left cheek is on the bolster or blanket. coming back to your breath. Taking a deep inhale and exhale. Using your hands, slowly walk yourself up. We're going to shift our weight to one side. Bring our legs out wide for a wide leg forward fold, supported. Our bolster will remain here. If your blankets were on your bolster, keep them there. If not, go ahead and stack them up. You're going to want to fold them depending on the level that you will need. Same exercise as previously with child's pose. We are going to take an inhale and forward fold. Depending on how tight your hamstrings are, and mine are quite tight, will be how high you want to be up. So to be most supported, when you lean over, you're going to put your hands in front. And so I'm going to actually put a few more blocks here, and your head's going to come down. So if you can see, my hands will be on the floor, my head will be on the bolster, and I'll be fully supported so that when I'm resting, I can fully rest. And we'll do the same thing, which is right cheek on the bolster or the block first, and then we'll switch midway through. So go ahead and find what props work for you best in order to support yourself when you fold over. Again, depending on the flexibility of your hamstrings, will be how far you can bend over or how much props you need. Whatever works for your body is the most important. Okay, so the more props, the better. You can see I have several here, and if you need more, that's great. And if you need less, that's great too. Whatever works for your body is what you need. So go ahead, let's take that deep inhale. Fold over your blankets, your bolster, your props. Hands come down to the mat and find that relaxation. Find that rest. Find what is no work for you, and let gravity and your props be what's working. You are now in complete rest, relaxation. Let gravity do the work. Find that breath, that natural cadence, and let that be. This is your pose to let go. Acknowledge the mind chatter. See it's on its way. Be on your mat and just here. Go ahead, switch your cheeks. Left cheek on the pillow. Finding balance in your spine. Coming back to your breath, wiggling your fingers, your toes. Using your hands to slowly walk yourself back up. Eyes still closed. Take a deep breath in and exhale, enjoying this newfound openness in your body. Now, opening your eyes, we're going to go ahead and shift into our next pose. We're going to put everything to the side because we're going to shift to our back. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bolster and we're going to put it towards the upwards way of our mat. And actually, I'm going to do it on this side so you can actually see. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our blocks and we're going to put them like this. So we have one flat right here and one supported up here. If you would like it to be taller, you can always put it up on the long edge, okay? These are cork blocks, which I find very sturdy. Again, you can use, your big cooking books, or I always say your Harry Potter books because we have that full collection and they work quite perfectly. So we're just gonna have a sturdy right angle. Then you're gonna place your bolster right ahead. Then what I like to do is go ahead and take a little blanket. I say little, I mean take a blanket, but roll it up just a bit and you're gonna put it right here. So you have a nice little cushion for your head, and you can't really see it real well, but there's a nice roll right there that your neck crease can go into. And then what you're gonna do is go ahead and put your sit bone or your small of your back right up against the edge of that bolster, okay? And then with your knees bent, take an inhale, elongate your spine, and slowly recline. I like to move my hair out the way. And then roll up your blanket as much as you need so that all of those open spots in the back of your neck are nice and supported. You're going to extend your legs out, feet just fall where they may, and hands then simply come facing open to the ceiling. Again, receiving all of that positive, good, loving energy that's right there in the universe waiting for you. Now, if this doesn't feel good on your back, which the small of my back is feeling a little iffy, I'm going to take another blanket. Can't have too many blankets. And I'm going to simply roll it up. I'm going to put it underneath my knees so that I have some support. And what that's going to do is going to release some of that pressure from my small back and allow me to just more, I say easily, fall into this pose. Coming back to that breath, getting out any wiggleness that you feel. If you need to put 2 blankets underneath your knees, do that. Find the comfort. Feel the openness in your chest. Feel the support of the ground underneath your hands, underneath your feet, underneath your sit bones. How does that support feel to you? Safe, grounding, supported. What words come to you? As we open our chest, can you feel the love coming in? Can you think about positive energy coming from the room and into your heart? What does that look like for you? What does that feel like? We'll sit here for the next few minutes with an open heart and supported grounding. So we let this pose do its work by just being. Being here, being in the moment, being in this pose. Feel the breath rise in your chest and fall as we come to silence. Coming back to our breath, into this room, to our awareness. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe wiggle your spine back and forth, just creating some movement. We're going to find grounding in our feet by lifting up our knees and placing our feet on the ground, nice and firm. We're going to use our hands to push ourselves up into a seated position. Taking the blanket that was underneath our knees, we can use that as a support for our neck in our next pose, Shavasana. We're going to shift around, just simply turning around on our mat, undoing a few of our props, placing our blocks to the side, taking our bolster underneath our knees, feet on the ground. We're going to slowly roll back. Now, I'm going to take my blanket, I'm going to put it over me so that I'm nice and warm and comfortable. This is an added bonus. And slowly lay back, finding our Shavasana. Blanket underneath our neck, supporting that natural curve, finding what feels good on our lower back, our knees supported with a bolster underneath, feet touching the ground. Again, we're going to place our arms on the floor, hands facing up. And take a deep breath in and loud sigh out. Again, deep breath in, deep sigh out. Last one, deep breath in, deep sigh out. Taking these last few moments in our Shavasana, soak in our practice. We have arrived. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible or standing on your hand is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. The goal is to love you. Shift your focus and your heart will follow. Shift your focus and your heart will follow. Finding movement, small, in your body. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Come back to your breath. Go ahead. Shift to your right side. Come into fetal position. Slowly using your hands, find your way up to a comfortable seat. Legs crossed. Hands facing up. Once again. Feeling that peace in your heart, that joy, that love, that openness that you've created in these 30 minutes. Such a short time for such a wonderful feeling. Remember that you always have this practice to come back to. Not only the physical practice of restorative yoga, but your breath. It's always there. Always there to connect and be there as your grounding point and your guide and your connection back to earth, to yourself, to who you really are. It's a beautiful and powerful tool that we always have. Coming together, hands at your heart. Take a deep breath in and out. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. I'm so grateful for your practice and for you being here today. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with us today here on our mats. And if you're looking for more things like this, then come back to our mat. Come back to this practice. It's so worth it. You are loved. You are cherished. We are grateful for you. Namaste. Have a great day.